Part 29. It's Doomsday, there are all-female zombies around. Author, Yu Cha Xiao. Chapter 281. Hank's right hand slowly stretched behind his back. Only 10 centimeters away, he can send an alarm to the whole island. Suddenly, Wang Ran took out a revolver. Boom. A bullet directly shot Hank's right thumb off. What? Hank shrank his hands from the sudden sharp pain. He looked sideways and saw that the position of his thumb was empty, only the gap was bleeding continuously. Now that the intention has been discovered, let's go all the way. Hank still has 4 fingers, just press the alarm button on the walkie-talkie. Hank quickly stretched his right hand behind his back. Bang 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 bang. 4 shots in a row. The remaining 4 fingers of Hank's right hand were knocked off one by one. The bare palm stabbed the walkie-talkie, and even the button couldn't move. And Hank also felt the sharp pain from his palm. What? My hand. My hand. Hank hurriedly looked down at the scattered fingers on the ground. The technology in the laboratory is good, and I can still connect it with hard work, although it may be a bit shorter. However, the female zombie lying on the ground didn't let go of a single one, and directly swallowed those fingers into her mouth and chewed it. Fake. Hank was in tears. Now there is no possibility of connecting back. Wang Ran blew the tube and walked towards Hank. Uncle, why are you using a gun? It's a bit boring. Tang Tang muttered to the side. The times are different. You haven't seen how many modern weapons are deployed on the entire island. Didn't I follow the customs of the countryside? Wang Ran smiled. I still like to use an axe, it's refreshing enough. Tang Tang doesn't like to use long-range weapons even when playing Monster Hunter. She thinks that is too embarrassing. Several people walked up to Hank. So why are you Tang Jun's personal assistant? Wang Ran shook his feet, stared at Hank and asked. Yes. Welcome to Hawaii. Hank didn't dare to do anything. Wang Ran's marksmanship is terrifying. He still has a bullet in the barrel of his gun. Where's your boss? Wang Ran asked directly. Boss. Just flew to the North American base half an hour ago. Hank answered honestly. Seeing Butler calling this guy the master, Hank understood in his heart that this guy is not easy to mess with. Be nice, always right. Grass. I knew I would let the little sea monster rest for a while. If you work hard, maybe you can catch up. Wang Ran sighed. Bosses, like CAO, are hard to catch if they run away. The little sea monster shivered aside. You have tried your best to pull the boat, and you think you are not fast enough? Not so oppressive to sea monsters. Our boss is now a 6th level awakener. If you inject violent medicine, your strength can temporarily reach level 7. You should be glad he's gone. Otherwise. Hank didn't dare to speak, for fear of offending Wang Ran. Level 7? Wang Ran smiled and said nothing. If you take out Tang Tang, you can single out him. Since you are the boss's personal assistant, you should be familiar with the layout of this island. What defensive measures, resources, weapons, etc. Wang Ran asked with a smile. Ah, that's right. Hank nodded subconsciously. Of course he knows that he usually needs to report to the boss, and of course he has to understand everything in detail. Come on, tell me what supplies are on this island. Wang Ran suddenly became interested. The coolest thing about sweeping the enemy's hometown is not killing people, but looting supplies. The company has a big business, and as one of the bases, the Hawaiian base must have many good things. Ah, this. Hank hesitated. Wang Ran's intentions were obvious. If he said it, wouldn't he be the leading party like Butler? If the boss finds out, he will be miserable. Wang Ran directly pushed the against Hank's crotch. Hank was shocked. There are about 150,000 tons of food and 50 tons of gold on the island. There are 1,000 rifles and pistols, 500,000 bullets, 10,000 grenades, and 5,000 dust suppression grenades. There are about 300 zombies above the level of silver pupil. Also, the most valuable thing on the island is the combined laboratory. The experimental subjects and researchers inside are valuable assets of the company, especially the number 2 and number 4 subjects. Their characteristics are extremely rare. In order to save his life, Hank decisively reported all the resources of the Hawaii base one by one. You guys are pretty rich. Wang Ran's eyes suddenly lit up. This time, it looked like it didn't come in vain. If these things are transported back, their own An city can rise a big step in terms of defense strength and material reserves. Especially food, 150,000 tons. Not only can the aborigines in An city be full, but those who have moved from S city can also eat meat. Uncle, sugar can't hold so many things. It looks like a lot of waste. Tang Tang said with regret. Wang Ran frowned and nodded. That one with no hands, do you have a transport ship on your island? Wang Ran asked. This kind of base, the materials will not always come by air. Conveyor. There is a cargo ship, but the carrying capacity is only 100,000 tons, and it is estimated that it will also carry some food. Hank answered honestly. As much as you can fit. Wang Ran muttered. Anyway, if you can't take it away, you will destroy it, and you can't leave it to the company. For now, however, there is a crucial issue to be resolved. Security forces on the island. Wang Ran didn't want to be attacked when he was moving supplies. That one with no hands, you used the walkie-talkie to call all the guards on the island to the beach to assemble. Remember, let them come empty-handed and unarmed. Wang Ran patted Hank's crotch with the barrel and said. Hank shivered again. Brother, don't get offended, I'm still useful. Under Wang Ran's obscenity, Hank picked up the walkie-talkie with his left hand. Attention to the security personnel of the islands. Come and gather at the beach on the west side of Oahu, I'm going to have a training camp. Everyone must not carry weapons and must arrive within 5 minutes. Hank took the walkie-talkie and made up a reasonable-sounding reason. As the newly appointed supervisor, it is very reasonable to convene everyone for a training camp. It's Doomsday, there are all-female zombies around. Author, Yu De Cha Xiao. Chapter 282. The so-called 3 fires for new officials to take office. Hank's order is also normal. No one wants to be inactive in front of a new supervisor. Soon, more than 200 guards came to the beach and consciously formed a team. Wang Ran came behind Hank and used the revolver to hold his chrysanthemum. It would also be miserable to be broken here. Hank didn't dare to mess around, so he could only follow Wang Ran's instructions obediently. After all, he has already betrayed the boss, and the dead friends are not dead. It is definitely better for these guards to die than to die himself. You guys, get closer. Can you hear my lectures while standing so scattered? Hank shouted loudly. The guards obediently compressed the formation and got together. They are all obediently waiting for the new supervisor to lecture. At this time, Wang Ran spoke up. Go ahead, don't let anyone go. Wang Ran said lightly. Behind Wang Ran, Suziao stretched out her claws, Tang Tang picked up the axe, and the little sea monster stretched out its tentacles. More than 200 guards were nervous. This battle, how does it feel like I'm going to kill them? The manager wouldn't be so rude, would he? Yes, it's so rude. 3 shadows rushed towards the crowd, and in an instant, there were stumps and broken arms everywhere. Fake, they are for real. Director, I am fake your mother. Ah, it's coming, it's coming. Don't panic everyone, we are at least level 3 awakeners, as long as we unite, ah. The screams came one after another. The strength of these guards is scum in front of Suzayahu and the others. Plus none of them were armed, almost like chickens to be slaughtered. After a little resistance, the gap between the two sides was found. The remaining half began to flee in all directions. However, Suzayahu and Tang Tang are not only strong, but also fast. The little sea monster is even more exaggerated. The 4 tentacles are used to chase, and the other tentacles are used to kill, which is very efficient. In just a few minutes, the entire beach was dyed red with blood. None of the guards survived. Suzayahu, Tang Tang, and the little sea monster returned to Wang Ran with blood. Damn, I only killed 44. You guys are going too far in grabbing people's heads. Tang Tang looked unhappy. She had tried very hard to kill, but she still killed the least. Afterwards, many people ran away. I was afraid that they would escape, so I tried harder to kill. But it's still better than the little sea monster. Suzayahu explained. Tang Tang looked at the 8 tentacles of the little sea monster and sighed. Too many hands can't compare. The 3 returned to Wang Ran's side. Uncle, it's a pity that these people were killed. It's not bad to leave a little help to move things. Tang Tang muttered. Not taking the first place made her feel a little down. I thought so too. But it's too much trouble. We have to guard against their mutiny. It is better to kill them directly. Wang Ran said lightly. It seems to make sense. Tang Tang nodded. Oh, this boss, there is actually a way. Hank said actively. We developed a bomb collar. As long as you bring it to someone, he has to obey you obediently. If you don't obey, you can detonate the bomb at any time. If you try to forcibly remove the collar, it will explode. It's good to use this to manage humans and zombies. It's much more convenient than injecting nanobombs. In order to protect himself, Hank shook all these out. You didn't say this sooner. Lead the way, get one for yourself first, and then take us to find supplies. Wang Ran ordered. Good boss. Hank nodded obediently. Master, what should I do with this female zombie? Suzayahu pointed to the female zombie on the ground tied with the belt behind her back. Oops, untie her and let her go. Really, uncle? Tang Tang turned his head and asked. Wang Ran nodded. I am not a female zombie who will accept it. Suzayahu was a little confused and didn't seem to understand. Aya, Miss Xiaoyu, first look at the female zombies that uncle collected. Which one is not a goddess level? This kind of 70 points, the owner will not accept it? Tang Tang explained. I see. Suzayahu suddenly realized. No wonder the girls on Donghu Island are all so beautiful. It turns out that looks can really change a person's destiny. Suzayahu untied the belt on the female zombie. The female zombie looked at Wang Ran gratefully, and glared at Hank again. Wang Ran was here, and she didn't dare to shoot Hank rashly. Master, let her stare at this Hank. It just so happened that she was bullied by this guy before, so she shouldn't let the water go. When this Hank is equipped with a collar bomb, let this female zombie hold the controller. Suzayahu suggested. Well, that's a good idea. Wang Ran nodded. Let this female zombie look at Hank, and you can save yourself some snacks. Hank took Wang Ran to the equipment warehouse on the island. Before walking a few steps, more than a dozen boats appeared by the sea. The boat is densely populated with zombies. This posture is like trying to land on the beach. Not good. The guards are all concentrated here, and the mutant zombies on the island have all run out. Boss, let's run away. There are quite a few red-eyed zombies in here, I can't bear the crowd of them. Hank shivered. There are many mutant zombies imprisoned on the big island. I didn't expect the guards to leave not long before they all ran out. Hundreds of mutant zombies, there are more than a dozen with red eyes, so terrible. Calm down, don't be noisy. Wang Ran said lightly. Aren't these the zombies released by Xiao Hong? Wang Ran saw Xiao Hong. Of course, even if these were all killed, Wang Ran was not afraid. Hank obediently closed his mouth and shrank behind Wang Ran. This big guy is too powerful, so let's not beep. Soon, the zombies jumped off the boat and went ashore. Under the leadership of Xiao Hong, the zombies came to Wang Ran. Boss, you're moving too fast. Don't leave any points for me to kill. Xiao Hong looked at the corpses on the ground, a little depressed. Originally, he went to the big island to start a killing spree, but all the guards were transferred. He could say that he released all the zombies without much effort. Wow, this boss is cruel enough. It really for us. Xiao Hong, you really didn't lie, we're following this boss. The zombies who were released by Xiao Hong expressed their opinions one after another. They have been oppressed by the guards here for a long time. Not to mention that zombies were beaten and killed at every turn, many girl zombies and a small number of male zombies were also violated by guards. It can be said that none of them want to kill all these guards. Unexpectedly, Wang Ran killed everyone today. So happy. You are listening to novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. It's Doomsday, there are all female zombies around. Author, Yu De Cha Xiao. Chapter 283. Then you should follow Xiao Hong first. Wang Ran nodded in satisfaction. The coolie of moving the supplies has come to an end. Hank on the side was shocked. Does this subdue these terrifying zombies? It's so easy. You must know that these zombies were controlled by the suppression of powerful weapons and equipment before. Hank looked at Wang Ran with even more fear. No wonder this guy can deflate the company several times in a row. This power is unfathomable. Soon, Hank took Wang Ran and others to the warehouse on the island. The warehouse here is very large, as big as 3 or 4 football fields. The first warehouse is full of weapons and ammunition, as well as some explosive collars. Boss, look, this thing is very useful. Just like that, put it on. Hank consciously put the explosive collar on his neck. He knew that only in this way would he have a chance to survive. One remote can control 10 collars. This is the detonation method, but you must be careful not to detonate the wrong one. Hank introduced in detail how to use the explosion collar. Yes, not bad. Wang Ran nodded in satisfaction. With this explosive collar, it will come in handy when encountering some people who are not sure whether they are sincere surrender. As for weapons, Wang Ran was also very satisfied. In addition to rifles and pistols, there are even roller gatlings and bazookas. If I attacked hard, I might get hurt a little bit. It seems that I was lucky to meet Hank on the beach. Then there is the food warehouse. The food here is much better than the previous islands. Although most of them are canned food, the variety is much richer. Even a very rare species like canned herring is available. With these foods, the coolies in An City will be happier. It's a pity that the cargo ships here have a limited capacity, and at most 2/3 of the food is taken away. Xiao Hong, organize your staff and move all this food onto the freighter. For weapons, transport them to the sugar. If you can't fit it, just put it away and talk about it later. Wang Ran ordered. Good boss. Brothers, move. It's time to work for the boss. Xiao Hong greeted the mutant zombies and started to carry them. For these mutant zombies, they are now much freer than before, and they are nothing more than moving things. The cans were shipped in boxes to the freighter. Wang Ran found a high place and watched the zombies carry the goods like ants moving. Suddenly, Wang Ran's eyes lit up. He saw 2 battleships. Hank, come here. Are those 2 ships? Wang Ran remembered that several ships here were used as museums after they were decommissioned. Boss, That's the USS Missouri. The surrender of the island country was the surrender document signed there. The other is the USS Arizona. By the way, these two battleships have been repaired by us and can be used for battle. Hank said immediately. Almost forgot about these two old antiques. Fight what fight? Move the rest of the food to these two battleships. They don't have low displacement and should be able to decorate things. Wang Ran directly regarded the battleship as a cargo ship. This time, the supplies of the entire island can basically be evacuated. Wang Ran came to the Missouri with great interest. A battleship is a battleship, and there is an urge to fire when you stand on it. Can these main guns fire? Wang Ran asked. Yes, we have repaired the Missouri well. It's mainly to the freighter that usually transports supplies. Look at these 3 triple main guns, a total of 900 shells, quite ferocious. There are also 12 secondary guns, 8 machine guns, and sufficient ammunition. However, the anti-aircraft guns and the like were removed during the repair process, and the cruise missiles were also removed due to disrepair. The ship was originally equipped with a reconnaissance plane, but it was placed in the museum for too long and it was useless. We also disposed of it. Although some functions are missing, the naval combat capability is still very strong. If the Arizona is not capable of combat, it can still be used as a transport ship. Hank is very proud to introduce. He was in charge of repairing the 2 battleships. Wang Ran nodded. These 2 battleships can be docked near Donghu Island. This time, the security level of Donghu Island has been greatly improved. Moreover, in the future, when you go to sea, you can drive this battleship out, and shoot if anyone is unhappy. It really didn't come in vain this time. Apart from not encountering any resistance and losing some combat fun, the experience of this dungeon of Hawaii Island was quite good. Boss, those scientists and researchers, what are you going to do with it? Are they all killed? Hank asked. Do they eat a lot? Wang Ran asked. Eat? It's not much less than the awakened ones. Hank was a little dazed. Whether to kill or not has something to do with how much he eats. Since there's not much to eat, take it all home. The researchers and equipment here should be top-notch. Just in time to fight Shi Yao. Wang Ran smiled. Just as the scientists of a certain country were divided up after World War II, Wang Ran planned to pack up and take away the scientists here. According to Hank, they have developed a method to steadily upgrade ordinary people to level 3 awakeners. This can greatly enhance the strength of his younger brothers. If I had 10,000 younger brothers with 3rd level awakening strength, I could handle the corpse tied by hand-to-hand combat. Wang Ran came to the research institute of the base under the leadership of Hank. Hundreds of researchers were busy inside, unaware of what was happening on the island. Director Hank, I'm running out of experimental subjects here, can you help me catch 2 golden pupil level zombies? Dr. Bald asked when Hank appeared. The guards in the research institute are gone. These researchers are very weak and dare not catch zombies by themselves. As soon as Dr. Bald finished speaking, he was suddenly shocked. He saw Suziao behind Hank. As a top researcher who has been studying zombies and viruses, he recognized Suziao's zombie identity at a glance. White hair, black pupils. This mighty aura. Ah, could this be the Corpse Emperor? Dr. Bald was thrilled. He hasn't seen the Corpse Emperor yet. Look at what? This is the boss's woman. Hank slapped Dr. Bald's bald forehead. Dr. Bald was shocked. Boss woman? That can't beat her. Originally he wanted to do some slice research. It's Doomsday, there are all female zombies around. Author, Yu De Cha Xiao. Chapter 284. This is our new boss. You guys hurry up and pack up, bring all the research materials and equipment, we're going to transfer. Hank ordered. New boss. Transfer. Dr. Bald and the other researchers were stunned. Could it be that someone called again? Isn't it said that the defense force of the Hawaii base is very strong, and there are battleships guarding the port? Is this about to evacuate? What does new boss mean? Could it be that the previous boss had sequelae and died? The researchers were baffled. If you don't want to die, hurry up and move, Hank urged. The researchers were stunned for a while, and then acted quickly. Although they don't understand the situation, they still know Hank, the director of the base. The researchers began to sort out the materials. Director Hank, a lot of equipment is too heavy for us to move. How about you get those guards to help? Dr. Bald applies. Hank looked embarrassed. Guard. Quan Te was killed by these brutal guys, where are their guards? Seeing this, Wang Ran picked up the walkie-talkie. Xiaohong, bring 50 people to the institute. Wang Ran ordered. Soon, Xiaohong arrived with the mutant zombies. The researchers in the institute were all shocked. Mutated zombies, ran out? They are all red pupils and golden pupils. Done. It's over now. Quite a few timid researchers were already sobbing. However, the cruel picture did not happen. These zombies honestly carried their equipment and walked out, and they had no intention of killing at all. The researchers were shocked again. These are all mutant zombies. They didn't bring bomb collars or anything, how could they be so obedient? Could it be because of the presence of the corpse emperor? The researchers didn't think much about it, and helped start to move things. The sugar has stopped in port. All weapons, ammunition, and research equipment were shipped to the sugar. After all, the USS Missouri and USS Arizona are old ships, and they may leak or disintegrate when they are driven. Wang Ran is not worried about putting valuables on them. After more than an hour of moving, all valuables from the entire Hawaiian base were emptied. The gate of a villa was also torn down by Wang Ran because it was more beautiful. Just enough to replace the big iron gate on Donghu Island. Zombies and researchers were arranged on transport ships and 2 battleships, respectively. The transport ship and the Missouri originally had dozens of crew members each. They did not belong to the guards on the island, and they were lucky enough to escape the tragedy on the beach, which just made Wang Ran save the idea of training crew members in zombies. All of them were loaded and the oil was filled up. The 4 ships left the port one after another and headed towards the end city. Except for sugar, the other 3 ships had enough endurance to reach end city. Therefore, the little sea monster still has to pull the boat in the water desperately. In the vast sea, a medium-sized fishing boat wandered on the sea. On the bow deck, several dark-skinned men were lying on deck chairs, enjoying the services of the women. Brother Chow, thanks to listening to you at the beginning, we went to sea in time, otherwise we might not live for a week. A man with a mid-parted hair said flatteringly. That's not. Isn't it all said on the radio, many cities on land have been crushed by zombies. We have fresh water purification equipment here, and we can fish, eat, and drink. It's so cool. Thanks to Brother Chow's wisdom. Another little brother next to him also said. The shaved super brother smiled slightly. I used to be just an ordinary fisherman. He often wakes up early in the morning and works hard at sea. As a result, when the zombie virus broke out, he actually became a super brother. After all, they can drive fishing boats and fish, so those who escaped to the boat had to obey themselves. In addition, after surviving for a period of time, the super brother has been promoted to the strength of the 3rd level awakener, which is far stronger than others. This allowed him to firmly control the medium-sized fishing boat. All male survivors have become his little brothers, female survivors. Naturally became a plaything for him and his younger brother. In special circumstances, this is a very common situation. More than a month has passed, and Brother Chow feels a little bored. There are only so many women, and they are tired of playing around. There is no entertainment on board. Boring. Brother Chow, when will you meet another yacht or two? We've run out of cans on our ship. I'm a little tired of eating fish all the time. The split-head younger brother asked. Before, they had encountered a yacht with a few survivors and some supplies on it. I think they are also driving a boat to avoid the zombies on the land. Brother Chow used the fish for supplies as an excuse, touched the other party's boat, killed all the men on the boat, and robbed the women and supplies. This pirate-like robbery kept them entertained for a while. The younger brothers began to look forward to encountering passing ships again. Yes, do you think it's still a peaceful age, and you can encounter ships at sea from time to time? How long has the virus been out? It is estimated that only a few % of the people who are still alive are left. There are even fewer who can sway at sea with a boat. If you really feel tired of eating fish, or go to the shore with me, maybe you can clean up something to come back. Super Brother said coldly. Ah, this. The younger brothers were stunned. Most of them are only first-level awakeners, and their strength is not very good. Ashore. It feels a little dangerous to say. Forget it, eat fish, anyway, like these women, they are the taste of the sea. Just then, a little brother suddenly jumped up. Super Brother, look. There's a boat in that direction. It looks like a medium-sized cruise ship. The younger brother shouted excitedly. Medium cruise ship. There must be a lot of good stuff on it. Brother Chow's eyes also lit up. Not to mention whether there are materials on it, the facilities above are definitely better than this broken fishing boat. Brother Chow has the idea of changing the shotgun for the gun. Adong, the old way, the flag is waved. Ayun, you go sailing, if the other party ignores us, you will take the initiative to lean over. Aten, go and prepare the harpoon gun. As long as it is fixed on the opponent's boat, they will not be able to escape. Brother Chow ordered immediately. The younger brother, Adong, immediately ran to the cabin and took out a flamboyant flag, which was waved at the bow. This is to get the other person's attention. The other younger brothers are also busy in their respective positions. Brother Chow stood on the bow in high spirits. It's time for him to act again. Your excellent light is always so hard to hide. It's Doomsday, there are all female zombies around. Author, Yu De Cha Xiao. Chapter 285. Master, stop for a while. Su Xiao pulled away from Wang Ran and said seriously. Are you asking for forgiveness again? Wang Ran smiled. Since the breakthrough of his own strength, the frequency of girls begging for mercy is very high, even Su Xiao can't help but slap the floor. No, look there. A ship is approaching, and there are people waving flags on the bow. Su Xiao pointed to the sea in the distance while putting on her clothes. Wang Ran looked up and saw that there was really a ship. The survivors who fled to sea? It is not easy to meet at sea. However, Wang Ran did not intend to pay any attention to them. First, Wang Ran has never been a nosy. Second, there are valuables on board, and Wang Ran doesn't want to cause unnecessary trouble. Go and talk to Tang Tang, keep sailing, and don't pay attention to them. Wang Ran patted Su Xiao's head. Su Xiao got dressed and ran to the cockpit. Wang Ran picked up the binoculars and looked at it. It was a medium-sized fishing boat with a dozen survivors on the deck. As the distance got closer, Wang Ran also saw clearly. There were people on the boat with guns and people operating large harpoons. It doesn't look like you want to have a good chat. Wang Ran smiled and returned to the cabin. Where is my rocket launcher? On the fishing boat, Brother Chow in the bow frowned. This cruise ship doesn't seem to have any intention of getting close. Is this the discovery of your own intentions? Ayun, speed up and rush over. Brother Chow shouted in the direction of the cockpit. Since you can't fool people, let's be tough. The speed of the medium-sized fishing boat was not slow, and quickly intercepted it in the direction of the sugar. The super brother at the bow was in high spirits. He is a third-level awakener, like a king in the sea. When I boarded the ship, I had to teach these guys a good lesson. Suddenly, Brother Chow saw a shadow appearing behind the sugar. Seems to be a bigger ship. Super brother took a telescope and looked at it. Battleships. What's going on here? Ayun, quickly turn around and withdraw. Brother Chow immediately turned back and roared. I'm just a small fishing boat, and it's already reluctant to rob a cruise ship, a battleship? Just kidding. Ayun, who was sailing, looked helpless. The speed is just full, and it is difficult to turn around quickly. Just slow down. Just as the fishing boat slowed down, Brother Chow was horrified to find that someone on the cruise ship was aiming at him with a bazooka on his back. This is too not good. Brother Chow immediately took out his gun, and there was a shuttle of bullets facing the opposite side. But I don't know if it's because the super brother's marksmanship is not good or the distance is too far. The man with the bazooka on the opposite side is not moved at all. Everyone jump into the sea. Brother Chow roared and jumped to the sea first. As soon as he entered the water, a rocket hit the fishing boat. With a loud bang, the fishing boat exploded directly, and a huge splash of water broke out on the sea. After a while, the fire light dissipated, and the sea was full of wreckage of fishing boats. 7 or 8 survivors floated on the sea holding driftwood. Among them is the embarrassed super brother. The other party was too ruthless. He didn't even have a word when he came up, he just came to the bazooka. Now that the fishing boats are gone, they are dead in the sea. After thinking about it, Brother Chow chose to admit counseling first. As long as he can get on the ship, with the strength of his third-level awakened person, he will definitely be able to take control of this ship. Help! Help me! I surrender. Please pull me up. Brother Chow shouted, waving an arm. Save us! We don't want to die. The other survivors also shouted. On the deck of the sugar, Suziao came to Wang Ran's side. Master, how do you deal with these guys? Suziao asked. I originally planned to wait and see, but I didn't expect this guy to shoot me. My bazooka didn't count for nothing. Inform the backship and let Xiao Hong salvage them and use them as food rations. There are so many mutant zombies on the ship, it's miserable to have nothing to eat for a few days. I heard that they have already started to eat the crew, right? There are 7 or 8 people here, enough for them to have a big meal. Wang Ran said with a smile. The crews of the following ships have been reduced to the limit by the mutant zombies. Basically, every time a zombie learns to sail a ship, the corresponding crew member will be eaten. There is no way, hundreds of them are mutant zombies, and there are no ordinary zombies to make them food rations, so the crew can only be gradually eliminated. The sugar just left these people behind and moved on. The group of people soaked in the water was gradually shrouded in despair. There are also hundreds of nautical miles from the nearest coastline, and it is impossible to swim back. Not to mention whether he will die of starvation and thirst, just sea creatures can kill them. During this time, they have seen many sharks roaming the nearby waters. Afraid of what to come, Brother Chow saw that something similar to a shark dorsal fin appeared on the sea not far away and was approaching. Super brother, there are sharks. It's dead now. I heard that the teeth of sharks are very sharp, and it is very painful to be eaten by sharks. Those who survived cried out. Being eaten by sharks is worse than being eaten by zombies. Super brother is also very worried. Although he is a third-level awakener, he is no match for these marine creatures in the sea. If it's a shark, he's a dead end. Brother Chow immediately pulled around, and he really found a harpoon. Without further ado, Brother Chow immediately picked up the harpoon and threw it towards the fins on the sea. A miserable scream. There were a lot of blood flowers floating on the sea. Wang Ran, who was on the sugar in front, suddenly frowned. This sound. It's a dolphin girl. Grass. These guys hurt my little dolphin. Xiao, let Xiaohong and the others tear up this group of people alive, as cruel as they can be. After Wang Ran finished speaking, he plunged into the sea. Wang Ran regretted that he didn't make up the knife after blasting it with the bazooka just now. With the help of the little sea monster, Wang Ran quickly found the injured dolphin. This is the dolphin that Wang Ran rode with Lu Shuangshuang before. A harpoon penetrated its body from the side, causing it to lose the ability to continue swimming and gradually sink down. The little sea monster brought Wang Ran closer to the dolphin and held it up with his tentacles. What to do, master? The little sea monster gestures with sign language. What? It's visceral damage, internal wounds. Wang Ran thought of the treatment method for internal injuries. To the dolphins, okay. The dolphin's condition is getting worse and worse, his head resting on Wang Ran's shoulder, very weak. Yeah, try it again. Wang Ran can't just watch the dolphin die like this, LF. +24. You are listening to novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. It's Doomsday, there are all female zombies around. Author, Yu Da Cha Xiao. Chapter 286. Half an hour later, Wang Ran surfaced again and changed his breath. Healing in the sea is really tiring. The dolphin's combat power is at least twice that of a human of the same level, so Wang Ran can stand it. After Wang Ran's treatment, the dolphin's wound was completely healed, and the internal injury was almost healed. It is estimated that it will be completely healed in a while. After Wang Ran's treatment, this dolphin also had a great breakthrough in strength. As you can see, its pupils have also turned red. The little sea monster beside him kept poking at Wang Ran with his tentacles. The meaning of this is obvious, it is the envy of the little dolphin. It also wants to improve its strength in this way. You're not injured, what are you thinking? Wang Ran glared at the little sea monster. The little sea monster seems to understand something. It seems that I will be injured a little after going out, the heavier the better. The little sea monster took Wang Ran back to the sugar. On the deck, Tang Tang was no longer sailing, with a depressed look on his face. It seemed that she also knew what Wang Ran was doing just now. It's too much, and now even dolphins are coming to grab business. I can only sail here bitterly. Tang Tang complained. It seems that being able to drive vehicles is not a good skill. Along the way, I can only enjoy it when I rest at night. Okay, I'll find you in the cockpit later. Hurry up and go. Wang Ran patted Tang Tang's butt. Tang Tang jumped back to the cockpit with satisfaction. Are those guys killed? Wang Ran walked over to Su Xiao and asked. Well, not a single one was spared. Xiao Hong and the others are all eaten by tearing it off piece by piece, similar to Ling Qi. Su Xiao replied. She couldn't wait to get involved. Dolphins are so cute, how dare someone stab a dolphin with something? It's simply self-defeating. Wang Ran nodded. It's okay to deal with it, and it can be regarded as revenge for the little dolphin. How far are we from N City? Wang Ran asked. There are still 100 or 200 nautical miles, and it is estimated that it will be there in a few hours. Su Xiao replied. Notify Jiangguo and them to go to N port to prepare for unloading. These materials should be temporarily stored in Port N. Wang Ran ordered. Port N is a comprehensive modern deep-water port with a wharf of 250,000 tons, and its throughput has ranked first in the world for many years. The port not only has a large amount of storage space, but also has a dock for ship repair and maintenance. Oil reserves are also very sufficient. Now N City is completely Wang Ran's territory, and N port should naturally be put to good use. After explaining, Wang Ran came to the cockpit. Tang Tang has long been waiting for Wang Ran here. She changed into a sailor suit, which was quite interesting. Wang Ran directly pressed Tang Tang on the console. Halfway through the in-depth communication, Tang Tang's satellite phone suddenly rang. "Hey, this is my dad's phone." "Uncle, stop for a moment, forget it, don't stop, it's okay." Tang Tang just picked up the phone. "Hey, Dad, what's the matter, ah?" Tang Tang pressed his voice and asked. "That. Dad, isn't this going to come to find you? As a result, we were trapped here when we were replenishing in HK. Is there a very powerful guy named Wu Jiangguo in your N city? Didn't you say you knew him before? Look, can you ask him to come and help us out? I estimate we can only last 3 or 4 days at most." Tang Yan said a little embarrassedly. Unexpectedly, he would also ask for his daughter. The dignity of being a father was suddenly discounted. "Wu Jiangguo? He doesn't care. I'll do it myself." Tang Tang said without hesitation. "You? What, are you kidding? The zombies here are very powerful, and there are organizations, don't mess around. There are not a few awakeners of level 5 or level 6, it is difficult to fight with them." Tang Yan is very serious and wants to stop the immature idea of Tang Tang. "Oops, take it easy. Give me the address and I'll be there as soon as possible," Tang Tang urged. "I'm stuck in Victoria Harbor." "Hey, stop talking, the zombies are attacking again." Then came the sound of machine guns thudding. Tang Tang hung up the phone. "Uncle, why don't we go and save my dad?" Tang Tang turned around and turned the tables. "No problem. According to what your father said, I guess he should be on the boat. It should be able to hold for 2 or 3 days. This time, let's go on the Missouri. We will start refueling when we arrive at the port, and we should be able to set off tomorrow morning." Wang Ran patted Tang Tang's butt. "The USS Missouri, is it going into Victoria Harbor?" Tang Tang was a little puzzled. Victoria Port is also one of the world's largest ports. I remember that the average water depth is more than 12 meters, and some places are still tens of meters deep. The regular draft of the Missouri seems to be 11 meters. Now that so much equipment has been removed, it should be fine," Wang Ran explained. Tang Tang nodded. If the uncle said so, it would be no problem. After checking that the phone was indeed hung up, Tang Tang began to scream. A few hours later, the fleet entered Port N. N Port is the largest port in the world in terms of throughput for many years, and the port is very atmospheric. There are piles of old and tall containers everywhere, and there are at least tens of thousands of them at a cursory glance. There are a lot of containers in this place. Maybe there will be something good in there," Wang Ran muttered. How could such a treasure be ignored before? "Boss, here we come." This time the harvest seems to be not small. Wu Jiangguo arrived with more than 100 people. "Help me refuel that Missouri first, and then start unloading. Let's stack the goods here first. There are storage facilities here, which are quite suitable for stacking materials. When the time comes, I will just send 10,000 zombies to station here. In addition, let me check all the containers that were originally stacked in the port to see if there are any useful materials in them," Wang Ran ordered. Boss, then we are not enough. I'll call for 1,000 more people." Wu Jiangguo immediately took out his satellite phone to contact Zhu Ming at the construction site. The survivors in N City have completely adapted to this management system, as long as they are given food and let them do whatever they want. Soon, dozens of buses and trucks came to N Port with thousands of people. Mass removal and inventory began. It's Doomsday, there are all female zombies around. Author, Yu De Cha Xiao. Chapter 287. Wang Ran took Su Xiao and Tang Tang back to Donghu Island. When it comes to bathing facilities, no place can compare to the island. After relaxing for a while, Wang Ran found Lu Shiyao. You are willing to come back? It's been almost 10 days. Lu Shiyao's black silk is matched with a white coat, which has the charm of a mature woman. Moreover, she also particularly enjoys the feeling of the clean white lab coat being soiled with mud. Wang Ran smiled and pushed Lu Shiyao into the greenhouse. This time, I'll bring you back a lot of helpers. Wang Ran said with a smile. Helper? You shouldn't have brought the company's laboratory to the pod. Lu Shiyao asked in surprise. It really is. I brought back all the researchers, along with the equipment. I plan to set up a laboratory near Port N. At that time, everyone's equipment resources will be allocated by you. You just let go of your research. Wang Ran said while tearing the black silk. Gosh! I'm not dreaming. Lu Shiyao felt great satisfaction. As a top researcher, nothing is more moving than giving her a lab like this. Lu Shiyao threw her glasses, tied her ponytail, and pounced on Wang Ran. After an hour. By the way, that black bug, is there any progress? Wang Ran asked while stroking Lu Shiyao's shoulder. Speaking of this bug, it's really the nemesis of zombie viruses. As the virus, they release a substance that concentrates all the virus where it sucks. In this way, the zombies that were originally supported by the virus will begin to fail locally, and then gradually lose their lives. For the awakened, although it is not fatal, it will make them lose the power brought by the virus. The scariest thing is that this situation is irreversible. Once an awakened is bitten by a bug, he will completely become an ordinary person. The fluid left in the body by the bugs creates an immune system that suppresses the survival of the zombie virus. In other words, the bitten person will never have the chance to become an awakened again. It's even more terrifying for zombies. If you are bitten, you will die. Lu Shiyao explained. Is it so cruel? No wonder Au and the others don't have a single awakened person in their village. Although they are not afraid of zombie viruses, they have also lost the ability to awaken. This bug is terrible. If it escapes, it will hurt Xiao and the others. The laboratory must be kept away from Donghu Island, just put it at Port N. You can have Jiaxin or the little sea monster pick you up and go to get off work every day. Wang Ran thought about it. Although the zombies treated by his own body fluids were different from ordinary zombies, Wang Ran did not dare to take risks. The little zombie followers are so cute and obedient, Wang Ran can't bear to hurt them. The sky gradually darkened. Because he was going out again tomorrow, Wang Ran decisively summoned the girls on the island and opened a pool party. Relying on his powerful strength, Wang Ran has not been defeated. At dawn, Wang Ran took Lu Shiyao and rushed to N Port in the Black Eagle driven by Tang Tang. Port N, after thousands of people moved and counted them overnight, the materials in the entire port were sorted out. As soon as Wang Ran landed, Wu Jiangguo greeted him. As an awakener, working all night is nothing, he is still in good spirits. Boss, this N port is really rich. The tens of thousands of containers that were originally piled here, although there is no food, there are really a lot of supplies. What kind of clothing, sneakers, daily necessities, and so on are incredible. This pair of limited edition AJ1S, I specially reserved them for you. Wu Jiangguo handed over a pair of sneakers with limited color matching. Wang Ran looked at it and smiled directly. Is this shoe sent from PT City? Wang Ran asked with a smile. Hey, boss, you are really amazing, really. Wu Jiangguo nodded. Wu Jiangguo also realized the problem. It's okay, the quality of PT's shoes is better than the genuine ones, and they still don't open the glue. These days, who cares whether it's genuine or not? Wang Ran gladly accepted the shoes. The ship here, the Arizona is a bit old, and it probably won't go out. You pack it up and use it as a fixed fort. In addition, you also set up a few sniper spots near the dock. This is our future material transfer station. Wang Ran ordered. Don't worry, boss. It is estimated that the sheet metal of the boat is similar to the repair of the car. I will just study it. Wu Jiangguo patted his chest and said. By the way, get another piece of land near the port and build a research institute for me. Just use a container to build it, and it's convenient to use local materials. What about those researchers? Wang Ran asked. Get some shipping containers for them to live in as temporary dormitories. Boss, I'll take you there. Wu Jiangguo took Wang Ran and others to a container area. Uncle, the container. Do you remember before we? Tang Tang threw a wink at Wang Ran. Of course I remember, you pushed me so hard, 10 times a night. Wang Ran smiled. What do you call me pushing hard? I thought I was dreaming. Tang Tang suddenly blushed. Okay, let's remember later, and do serious things first. Wang Ran patted Tang Tang's head. Researchers, come out and gather. Wu Jiangguo tapped the container with an iron stick. Soon, more than 100 researchers came out one after another. Originally, there were more than 200 of them. When they were at sea, some researchers with relatively poor skills unfortunately became the rations of zombies. Dr. Bald stood at the front, and when he saw Lu Shiyao, he greeted him. Researcher Lu. Long time no see. Your research results in Research Institute number 1 are really amazing. I have admired you for a long time. Dr. Bald has eyesight, and he understood the situation at once, and went straight up to flatter Lu Shiyao. From today, you people belong to my institute. The conditions here are not bad. It's safe to eat, pack, and pack. If you perform well, with Xiyao's approval, I can let you out of here. If you don't perform well, then paddle. Wang Ran smiled slightly. The researchers were all shocked. Who dares to paddle? Isn't it good to live? Jiangguo, put collar bombs on them all. I remember that this ring bomb will explode automatically as long as it is 10 kilometers away from the remote control. You don't want to run away with the secrets of our institute. Wang Ran said with a smile. The researchers were shocked again. Of course they knew about this ring bomb, and it was used to wear it to those disobedient zombies. Now it's their turn. It's Doomsday, there are all female zombies around. Author, Yu De Cha Xiao. Chapter 288. Marvelous. This way my research progress can be accelerated many times. Lu Shiyao happily adjusted her glasses. After mixing with Wang Ran for a while, Lu Shiyao has also become an old capitalist. With so many high-level labor, coupled with these advanced equipment, Lu Shiyao is grateful that his future progress will become very smooth. Okay, we have to set off to save Tang Tang's father. Call me in time if you have any questions. Wang Ran boarded the Missouri with Tang Tang. The Black Hawk helicopter has been parked on the deck of the USS Missouri. The deck area here is quite large, and it can be used to play football. Boss, the oil has been refilled, and the crew is all ready. Xiao Hong ran over to report. After several days of study, many mutant zombies have mastered the basic operations of some crew members. Now this ship is mostly controlled by mutant zombies. Some of the remaining crew members have already discovered the basic logic, and they are unwilling to teach them all about some complicated operations. In the past, the disciples of the church starved to death the master, but now the disciples of the church will eat the master. Soon, the Missouri left the port and headed towards Victoria Harbor. At the speed of the Missouri, it can reach Victoria Harbor in one day. Of course, it used to be faster to fly a helicopter. But Wang Ran really wanted to try the Missouri shelling. When playing World of Warships in the past, Wang Ran liked to use battleships, and now he can finally experience it for himself. HK. A medium-sized cruise ship is docked in the Victoria Harbour. A black layer of oil floated on the sea near the cruise ship. There were a few gaps in the hull where the oil leaked. On the deck, dozens of mercenary-like people held rifles and snipers, and looked around vigilantly. "Boss, are you sure there will be someone to help us?" asked a one-eyed man. "Maybe. My daughter is quite reliable." Tang Yan had no confidence in his heart when he said this. Originally, their ship could reach port and directly along the coastline. Who would have thought that the ship would hit the rocks in the middle? Tang Yan could only let the ship drive into the Victoria Harbour as soon as possible to see if he could find a replacement ship. Who would have thought that they would be dumbfounded as soon as they entered the Victoria Harbour? All the ships docked at the nearby port were scuttled, and his own ship completely leaked oil and could not be driven. They are stuck here. Originally, Tang Yan planned to take people ashore and find a few cars to take a look at the airport. Before they could land on the shore, a large number of zombies surrounded the coast of the port. The number of these zombies is huge and their strength is not weak. Tang Yan tried several times to break through but failed. Later, the zombies even took the initiative to attack Tang Yan's ship. Some zombies hugged the swimming ring and rowed a boat to attack Tang Yan's boat. Fortunately, Tang Yan and the others had sufficient ammunition, and they repulsed the opponent's repeated attacks by firepower. After 2 days, Tang Yan and his party started to feel tired. After all, zombies attack day and night. Especially at night, they would approach the hull together from all sides. Tang Yan had to arrange manpower at all angles of the ship. Once tiredness hits, it's a steady stream. A lot of people are already yawning. "Boss, why don't we fight and find a time to rush again? If it continues like this, our situation will only get worse," one-eyed suggested. Tang Yan was silent for a while, then nodded. The subordinates can't hold it anymore, and the longer they carry it, the worse the state will be. It's better to give it a try while you still have some strength. Tonight, gather everyone to rush again. Dead or alive, watch this wave. Tang Yan always felt a little uneasy when he looked at the dense zombies on the other side. Unfortunately, his satellite phone was scratched by zombies in the previous battle. Otherwise, you can ask if Tang Tang can really bring reinforcements. It's up to you now. The sky gradually darkened. The zombies along the coast launched another attack. This time, they brought in a lot of door panels and bamboo rafts, probably from the nearby construction site. With these floating objects, the number of zombies in this attack is much higher than before. Gunshots and firelight continued to flicker densely in the port. "Fake, boss, I don't have many bullets here. I'm running out of ammo here. Only 50 rounds left on 7.62. The crew members on board reported their situation one after another. "Yes, save some bullets, stop shooting, use bursts. Awakeners above level 3 put on life jackets and jump down with me to kill zombies." Tang Yan gave an order, held a fire axe, and jumped down with a dozen younger brothers. The defense has entered the stage of hand-to-hand combat. The entire sea is covered with stumps and broken arms. After an hour of fighting, Tang Yan and the others finally killed the zombies. But they were exhausted one by one. Breakthrough at night, it seems that there is no way out. "Boss, what's next?" "Just say it, we'll listen to you," one-eyed said while bandaging the wound. "Right now, we're running out of ammunition. If the zombies attack again, we may not be able to defend." "Well, go down a dozen people and send the oil floating on the sea behind us. The next time the zombies attack, we'll set fire to it. Zombies are afraid of fire, and it is estimated that they can defend another wave." Tang Yan thought about it for a while. "Boss, won't the fire set our ship on fire?" one-eyed asked aside. "Burn on fire? It's all over, why do you still care about the boat? At that time, we will all go to the bottom of the water and try our best to focus on the shore, And we can fight another wave. Now everyone, take a good rest. Tang Yan also had a lot of wounds, but as a level 5 awakened and the leader of the team, he must not fall. The wounded were bandaged and rested directly on the deck. Those who were not injured were in charge of the vigil with spotlights. The night passed so peacefully. At dawn, everyone breathed a sigh of relief. Zombies always like to attack at night, because of the light. It will be much more troublesome to deal with them than during the day. Now that it's dawn, everyone feels a lot more secure. But Tang Yan frowned tightly. Grass, it's a mistake. Tang Yan slapped his thigh sharply. Boss, what's wrong? It's a good thing that the zombies didn't attack at night. Asked incredulously. The boss of this zombie has a high IQ. They know we're out of ammunition and out of energy, but why don't we keep attacking at night? Because although it is good for them to attack at night, it is also good for us to escape in the water. Now in broad daylight, wherever we want to swim, we will be seen by them. I can't escape now. Tang Yan smiled bitterly. You are listening to novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. It's Doomsday, there are all female zombies around. Author, Yu De Cha Xiao. Chapter 289. The zombies on the other side began to move. It can be seen that they are preparing to attack. Boss, we took the time to make a small raft from the door of the boat, which can accommodate 3 or 5 people. Why don't you bring a few brothers to evacuate first? The one-eyed boy persuaded him. Withdraw. This is not my style of tang. Besides, there are zombies along the coast, and even if you sit on a small raft, there is no chance of landing. It would be even worse if it drifted into the sea. Brothers, let's have a good fight with them today. If you want to die, you will die together. Tang Yan tore off a piece of cloth and tightly tied the fire axe to his hand. Hum them. Kill more than anyone else. Even if you die, you will kill a golden pupil. These mercenaries were suddenly excited by Tang Yan. Everyone had cloth strips tied around their heads, ready for the final battle. Coming. Tang Yan shouted, reminding his younger brothers. Along the coast, a large number of zombies approached Tang Yan's boat in small boats and holding wooden boards. This time, the number of zombie attacks far exceeded the previous ones, and it seems that the zombies are planning to attack. Tang Yan's younger brothers still have a small amount of bullets, constantly shooting the heads of the zombies. But there are too many zombies, killing hundreds of them can't change the situation at all. Get ready to fire. Tang Yan ordered. When the first wave of zombies came around, a Zippo was thrown into the sea. The oil floating on the sea suddenly ignited. Hundreds of zombies were directly involved in the fire. The zombies behind all stopped in unison, watching these zombies burning coldly outside the sea of fire. Grass, they are indeed commanded. How many zombies can't be killed by this fire? The one-eyed boy patted his thigh. The fire was almost on the boat, but it only killed so many zombies, which was not powerful. When this fire is finished, it is estimated that the zombies will launch a general attack. Tang Yan and others held weapons and enjoyed this last quiet moment. Boss, look. The one-eyed boy suddenly shouted. Outside the fire wall, the zombies began to use various containers to pour water and sand on the burning sea, and some zombies even sprayed corrosive liquid on it. This is to speed up the fire. It looks like this fire won't last long. Yeah, don't let me finish smoking a cigarette. Tang Yan snorted and threw away the cigarette butt. The final battle to the death is coming. The other younger brothers were also waiting. At this time, a shadow appeared not far away, slowly approaching their location. Boss, a ship is coming. Is it reinforcements? A little brother found a shadow in the distance when he was throwing away his cigarette butt. Damn it, it seems like a battleship. I have a model of this ship. It's the Missouri. Who drove this guy out of Hawaii? We are saved, everyone cheer up. The mercenaries on the ship suddenly became excited. The momentum of this reinforcement is not ordinary. Boss, isn't this your daughter? Asked with a one-eyed smile. My daughter? She's good at playing battleships, really battleships, I don't believe it. Tang Yan really couldn't believe it. But apart from Tang Tang, he didn't seem to have told anyone about his current position. The battleship got closer and closer, and stopped when it was about a kilometer away from Tang Yan's ship. Boss, the barrel is moving. Did you see that the gun barrel of this battleship moved? Shouldn't it be? The mercenaries were all shocked. They thought of a possibility. Boom boom boom. The secondary guns on both sides of the battleship started shelling the shore. The explosion sounded continuously. The ships docked on both sides and the zombies on the shore were constantly bombarded into by the intensive artillery fire. Each cannon can take the lives of hundreds of zombies. Roar. A roar sounded, and the zombies began to retreat. They don't want to be killed like that. At this time, the main gun on the ship moved slightly. The main gun just aimed at the red-eyed zombie that was retreating. The red-eyed zombie ran and turned around. A breath of death came over him. Boom. The main cannon fired 3 bursts, directly blasting at the red-eyed zombies. The red-eyed zombie didn't have any chance of resistance, and was directly blown into minced flesh like other zombies. Without the control of the red-eyed zombies, the other zombies began to be chaotic, fleeing like headless flies. The zombies still in the sea also rode to the shore. The dilemma of the cruise ship, solved. On the bow of the battleship, Wang Ran and Tang Tang were like a classic scene from the Titanic, watching the magnificent fireworks against the wind. The times are really different, and the red-eyed zombies can't stand the shelling. Wang Ran exclaimed. Uncle, why don't you try it too? Tang Tang asked with a smile. Am I stupid? I'm going to try this. Wang Ran was stunned. If it were him, it is estimated that he would have suffered serious injuries. Soon, the Missouri came to the cruise ship. Dad. Tang Tang waved his hand at Tang Yan. It's really my daughter. Tang Yan was shocked. I'm not in An City, but my daughter is doing so well. Can kidnap battleships. Boss, the one next to you is your son-in-law, ha ha ha. One-eyed smiled. Ah, this. My daughter is still young. Tang Yan was a little depressed. It's not really my daughter's boyfriend. It's a little hard for any dad to hear this for the first time. There is a feeling that the cabbage grown by myself has been arched. It seems that I will give this kid a little bit of Ma'i later. Tang Yan and his party boarded the Missouri one after another. They finally breathed a sigh of relief. This feeling of escaping from death was wonderful. Dad. Tang Tang jumped in front of Tang Yan. The father and daughter finally met. However, Tang Tang did not rush into Tang Yan's arms as before. Tang Yan was stunned. When you have a boyfriend, do you forget your father? Where did the sweet little padded jacket go? Tang Yan wanted to cry a little. Who is this? Thank you for this time. Tang Yan extended his hand to Wang Ran. If people came to rescue him, he still wanted to express his gratitude. Wang Ran stretched out his hand and held Tang Yan. Tang Yan smiled slightly and slightly increased the strength in his hands. This is Wang Ran Gong's disillusionment with Chinese cabbage. But Wang Ran's expression did not change at all, as if Tang Yan was not exerting any force at all. Tang Yan's face trembled, and he increased his strength again. Still no change. No way. Tang Yan muttered in his heart. It's Doomsday, there are all female zombies around. Author, Yu De Cha Xiao. Chapter 290. This time, Tang Yan used 70% of his power. He is a 5th level awakener. Could it be that this young man is more powerful than himself? Tang Yan gave up the idea of using all his strength, it was meaningless. This young man, shouldn't you be that Wu Jiangguo? Tang Yan asked tentatively. Puff. Dad, what did you say? This is my boyfriend, Wang Ran. Wu Jiangguo, that's our little brother. Tang Tang explained with his arms crossed. That famous Wu Jiangguo, is that really your little brother? Tang Yan couldn't believe it. Wu Jiangguo, how could he have the strength of a level 5 or 6 awakener? The younger brother is so strong, so this young man. At this time, Xiao Hong climbed out from under the cabin and walked towards Wang Ran. Boss, there are zombies with red eyes. One-eyed immediately reminded. Tang Yan and the others immediately tensed up and prepared for battle with their weapons. Who would have thought that there would be red-eyed zombies on this ship? Oh, Dad, don't be so ignorant. This is also our little brother. Tang Tang sighed. Are middle-aged people so ignorant? Red-eyed zombie as a younger brother. Tang Yan and the others were all stunned. This is too exaggerated, they have never seen it. The tension that had just been tense slowly eased down. Boss, shall we return directly or? Xiao Hong stepped forward to ask for instructions. Tang Tang, what do you say? Wang Ran turned to look at Tang Tang. Don't go back yet. The zombies here are bullying my father, I have to kill them to vent my anger. Tang Tang raised his sleeves. Don't. Dad doesn't need to be angry, let's go quickly. This HK place is not big, with a large population, and the strength of zombies is still very strong. I guess there are quite a few zombies at the red pupil level. Going up rashly will be dangerous. Tang Yan wants to dispel the immature idea of Tang Tang. Dad, who do you look down on? It's just a red-eyed zombie, I just raised my hand and killed it. Let's go, I'll take you to take revenge. Tang Tang waved his hand, and Xiao Hong put a small boat down there. Wang Ran and Tang Tang jumped directly into the boat. Ah, this. Tang Yan was stunned. He didn't believe his daughter's nonsense, but if he didn't keep up, he was afraid that his daughter would be in danger. One-eyed, bring a few brothers to keep up. Tang Yan still chooses to follow Tang Tang, her daughter is reckless, and she can't ignore it. A group of more than a dozen people rowed a small boat to the shore. The shore has been blown up by the main and secondary artillery of the ship, and there are charred bodies of zombies and broken roads everywhere. Tang Tang chose a direction at will, and took the crowd forward aggressively. The group of people were either holding machetes or axes in their hands, and they walked in a line with great momentum. When passing Yao Mati, the singing suddenly started. Impressive, I'm free to break in, everyone looks up to me. Impressive, I never need to look back. The earth shaking, I ordered that I write the law of respect for myself. Coupled with the posture of the crowd, it looks like a young boy patrolling the streets. One-eyed, you sing wool. Tang Yan patted the back of One-Eye's head and interrupted the singing. Oh, isn't this a zombie's place, I'll sing some energetic songs to give us a boost. One-Eye grasped the back of his head and explained. Increasing momentum. Look at how many zombies you have attracted. Tang Yan glared at him. In the surrounding alleys and storefronts, many zombies flooded the streets. I don't know if it was caused by the one-eyed singing, or it was controlled by some zombies. Kill more than anyone else. Tang Tang's eyes lit up when he saw this battle. You can play the unparalleled game again. Tang Tang took the lead and rushed into the zombie pile with an axe. In an instant, the broken limbs of the zombies continued to fly into the sky. Tang Tang, be careful. Tang Yan immediately followed. In his opinion, Tang Tang is at most a second or third level awakener. With so many zombies, it would be dangerous to encounter Jin Tong or Hong Tong. One-eyed waited for the younger brother to immediately followed and killed him. Only Wang Ran calmly paddled behind him. After all, he has seen millions of corpses, and there are only more than 1,000 in this street, so he is not afraid at all. After a few minutes, most of the zombies became corpses. A few brainless zombies hid in the surrounding shops and closed the door. Tang Tang, you can do it? How did you practice? I feel that your strength is almost the same as my father's. Tang Yan asked with a look of surprise. His level 5 awakening strength is how many times he fought in battles. Tang Tang stayed in An City, and he could actually become so powerful. It's also amazing. Similar to you. Pull it down. I haven't tried my best yet. Tang Tang glanced at his father disdainfully. Awakened at the 5th level, but I was too embarrassed to squeak in front of myself. Tang Yan's face twitched. Choking by his own daughter, he really had nothing to do. One-eyed and the younger brother couldn't help laughing behind him. His boss is usually not very powerful, but it turns out that there are times when he is cowardly. At this time, a group of zombies suddenly appeared at the end of the street. They were also armed with weapons and strode forward. Among them, there is also a zombie carrying a retro tape recorder on his shoulder, which is called Justice, and which is invincible. It's hard to tell what's right and what's wrong. Which one has the right to decide? Heaven and earth can bear witness. Whatever the background. The BGM sounded, and the atmosphere of the street changed instantly. The two groups of people slowly met in the middle of the street, and the whole thing was like a gang fight. The other party took the lead was a red-eyed middle-aged female zombie with two big flower arms holding a machete. She glanced at Wang Ran and others, and her eyes fell on Tang Yan. These humans seemed to be Tang Yan's most charismatic leader. Humanity, Yao Mati, my territory. Why are you breaking in? The middle-aged female zombie asked coldly. Passing by, the ship leaked oil, and I want to change the ship. You've been around me for 3 days, and are you asking now? Tang Yan shook his head with a wry smile. If the zombies were willing to communicate earlier, they wouldn't be so tired. You are surrounded by those guys from Tsim Sha Sui. It has nothing to do with us. The middle-aged female zombie explained. Tang Yan was stunned. Got it wrong? Killed the wrong zombie? It is quite common to say that zombies have territorial divisions. It seems that Tang Tang's automatic pathfinding is not very good. Sorry for disturbance. Tsim Sha Sui, right, we know. Tang Yan said hello, turned around and wanted to leave.